welcome to my channel. I am the Divine Femme y'all, mystic, alchemist, hermetic, bitch. So it's August 1st, the most wonderful time of the year, Leo season, all right? It's self-love season, self-actualizing season, all that good stuff, it's all about you season. Getting that bag and reaping what you sow, which just happens to be what I'll be talking about today, because I decided that's what would be what I was talking about today. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to be starting off with my Kaleidoscope Tarot. So reaping what you sow. Let's see. When we talk about being able to reap what you sow, right, we're not just talking about, writing down something on a piece of paper, burning it or burying it, and then expecting the universe to do the rest. It's not about just, letting go and letting God entirely. It's about taking action, all right? You have to take action towards these goals. You can't set up your own barriers by not acting on what it is that you desire. If you want to be successful, King of Pentacles energy, if you want to have this business, this boss-ass way of living, you want to make that wealth, that abundance, the Four of Coins, Four of Pentacles energy, you want to have things, not just like be rich, but be wealthy, for people in the future, to avoid, being homeless or left out in the cold. When you have something to rely on, whether we're talking about money, relationships, career, whatever it is that we're talking about when we talk about reaping what you sow, when you're trying to manifest, it's very important that you stick to your goals, all right? When you're, when you're at a loss of faith, right? Yeah. So when you're at a loss of faith here, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. When you're at a loss for faith, when you're not listening to your intuition, when you're not, meditating, when you're not doing things that make you happy, make you feel good, when you're putting yourself in situations where you feel dependent on other people, right? Where you're not really wanted or needed or prioritized. That is how we create codependence, all right? And not only codependence, but that is how we create systems that are built to tear us down, built to make us tired, exhausted. So when we live in fear, right, we live in this like stagnation of, not wanting to grow, not wanting to evolve, not believing that we have the power to change whatever it is that we desire and put our own lives in our own hands. At one point I had the World card in reverse here as back of deck energy. Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. So we have the Eight of Cups reversed, Ace of Cups upright, and then the Seven of Coins, which is Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So it's not just about, saying, okay, I want this to happen. I'm gonna, have $1,000 next month or whatever, whatever your goal is, okay? You have to put your words, your spells, your manifestations into action. So if you want to see the results, you have to be able to plant the seeds, all right? So if you want to see growth and then you're not watering the seeds after planting them, how do you expect to move forward from this energy? You're going to be feeling stagnant. You're going to be like, oh my God, I put my faith in this and that and nothing's happening, nothing's changing. Well, what are you prioritizing? What are you focusing on? What are your goals? Not only what are your goals, but where are your actions? Is your heart in the right place? Are you doing this out of the goodness of your heart or out of, ego? Are you doing this because you're being impatient? Are you doing this because you feel like insecurity? You lack security in your life and you are really just doing this for, 3D reasons, which is, valid sometimes. But if you're only working from ego, all you have to do is, go work for someone else. If you really aren't working for yourself, for your future, it's going to be hard to keep up that momentum, keep up that belief. When you're not really putting in the work, you're going to be like, well, where is the stuff I planted, well, if you're not taking care of the stuff that you planted, then how do you expect it to grow? So when I say reaping what you sow, right, it's not just about, say, for example, I want to get a car. I'm going to have a car by let's say October 1st, okay? You have to set up SMART goals. We're not just talking about spirituality here, but when we're talking about SMART goals, you have to think maturely, all right? We can't be caught up in unrealistic expectations with this, because Six of Cups in reverse. We can't be fantasizing about different things and then not, doing anything about it. If you want to experience life, you have to experience it. You have to go do things. You can't just think about what you want to do. You have to go do it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go start somewhere. And, starting somewhere, from a place especially where like you might not have the best soil, you might not have as many seeds or many chances or risks that you can take. It all starts small. Start as small as you can to get to a place where you are able to fail, and then not only get back up, but get back even stronger. So we have the Eight of Swords. So free yourself from this feeling of rejection. I'm seeing with the Queen of Wands energy. I'm seeing like you have to embrace your own worth, your own self-worth. You have to believe in yourself so you can, have your flaws pointed out to you and be able to, rest on them and figure out and wait. Be patient with yourself. If you really want to get into this energy of manifestation, you have to realize what manifestation even is. So in my opinion, what manifestation means, it's not just about, telling your guides, your ancestors, okay, I want to do this, all right? I want to have a boyfriend, let's say, for some reason. We got the Empress and the Knight of Coins here, all right? We got some bad bitches coming up and Ten of Swords. So if you're at a place where you're like, all right, I want revenge on this person, this and this, you got to get out that energy. You got to kill your own ego if you want to see any success, because all you're doing is repeating these same cycles over and over and not getting any growth from it. The Lover's in reverse. So for some of you, I'm seeing that you might be using manifestation to create a relationship in your life where you can feel, not powerful, feel, I'm trying to think of what the word is. Just feel okay being vulnerable, where you're not exhausted, where you're okay in your independence, but you're not alone at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be on your own without feeling like you need this other person to make you feel whole, to make you feel happy. You're able to go through the cycle and go through life without being dependent and like not just being someone for your ego. So when I say manifestation for, love connections or careers or whatever it is, you have to always recognize that people have free will above anything else. That's the one thing that God has given us. We have all these different ways that we can, manipulate the world that we're in, manipulate reality, change our own mindsets. But one thing we can't do is change the mindsets of other people. What we can do in this sense is recognize that we don't have that power over other people and not try to force it. If you can't accept the fact that you cannot manipulate other people, which, already in itself is unethical in my opinion, you're going to just be feeling toxic and emotionally unfulfilled. And all it's going to do is just bring down, ruin all your endeavors. And if you're doing this from a place where you're being like shady, you're kind of like manipulating people against their will. Like I've seen like some, memes and stuff where people will be like, yeah, I'm astral projecting myself into their dreams, and the people have voodoo dolls and this and that. And like, if that's your thing, all right, but karma be doing her thing, and I'm not fucking with that in general. But if you really want to see growth here, you have to do it from a place where you are not doing it out of jealousy or possessiveness. If you want someone in your life, maybe you have to reevaluate why that is. Maybe you have to figure out why you feel the need to have this void filled inside of you. Three of Coins here. I'm seeing that like maybe you guys might be feeling like insecure on your own. So maybe that might be something that you need to really work on, like rebuilding your self-esteem before you can even think about being in a relationship, So Five of Swords, because all it's going to do is put you in a situation where you're not, well, even if you do manifest this person into thinking that they like you because you're invading their, their personal thoughts and privacy and space and all that energy, all it's going to do is put you in a place where you're in a manipulative situation, and that's just going to be the karma in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to build from a place of stability and love and not a place of like mental manipulation, mind games, and, you know, trickery and just, you know, tearing down people's walls and being insensitive to people's values, etc. Then maybe you need to reevaluate what it is you're trying to manifest. So anything else from the cards about reaping what you sow? Let's see. Page of Swords. Yeah, so I have 9 of Coins again for the Page of Swords. So I'm seeing that maybe you guys would be like trying to find your own happiness. Like you're like, okay, this is my month, this is my year. You know, starting now, I'm gonna, like, in the future, me is gonna be this and this and this. Start thinking about yourself, your future self, as yourself now. Your higher self is you right now. The moment that you decide to be your higher self, think, what would my higher self do? They would act not out of ego, not out of fear, but out of love, right? They wouldn't do something to harm other people, because when you're really moving from a place of love, you know, unconditional love, and, you know, self-fulfillment, you know, all your wishes will be coming true. 9 of Cups energy, right? You have all these opportunities in front of you that you're not seeing because you're so focused on, like, what you could be. And, you know, self-growth is important, but if you're only focusing on what you could be, you're never going to be happy with where you are, you know. And, you know, that's just not the way to be, and that's the way people can easily get manipulated in situations where they feel insecure, you know what I'm saying? So let's see, we also have the 9 of Coins. Oops, those are a couple cards. Queen of Cups reverse. So yeah, emotional stability is something that's very important when doing manifestation. You need to also make sure that you're working with deities that are for your highest good, not any of that, you know, bullshit shenanigans. As long as your intentions are good, you know, and you don't doubt yourself, because that's one other thing. You need to believe in God or whatever, universe, spirit, whatever you're releasing your energy into, you know, the light. I didn't even peep the sun in the back of neck energy. You need to make sure that you are seeing clearly what it is that you want. You need to tell the universe exactly what it is that you want. I want a car, or I want, for example, this is my dream car right now. A 2006 Toyota Avalon Limited, you know, maroon, all right, with some nice rims. And it's going to be this much money, this many miles, and I'm going to get it by this date. And then I'm still going to have this much money left over because I want to have insurance and registration, you know, all that. You got to plan out everything. If you really want to manifest, you can't be doing all of it at the same time. You got to focus on one thing at a time, and you got to know what you're doing. There's plenty of books and manifestation, other videos you could probably look up. But let me just get some final messages about reaping what you sow for you guys before I go get dinner. Because, you know, quarantine vibes, been eating a little slacking lately, my eating schedule. All right, Judgment Day, not Judgment Day, Judgment in reverse, and then the 10 of Coins popped up. So once you recognize what it is that you are desiring and seeing, like, clearly what it is you want and why, but instead of, like, just saying, I want this, maybe figure out, why do I want this when I deserve this? You know, whether it's something that, like, is more attainable. Like, instead of saying, I'm going to make $1 million next year, you can say, okay, I'm going to make, or I'm going to save this much money every month so that by next year I'll have, you know, maybe something more closer in your range. You know, I don't know how you're living or whatever, but I know I don't have $1 million, and I don't expect any $1 million anytime soon. There's so many cards. But yeah, as soon as you see, see your own value, see your own worth, emotional intelligence, you know, all of that, you surrender yourself to the process, all right? And don't rush spirit, okay? Nothing that spirit hates more than being rushed, all right? Things take time, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day type shit, all right? You gotta plant your seeds, water them, talk to them, you know, keep them in your pocket. You know, some people, like, will have manifestations and burn them, you know, every full moon, every new moon. I know if you're a water sign, especially, like, a water signs work really well with the moon cycles. Aquarius, you know, I know a lot of people, Gen Z's my age, have Aquarius in their chart pretty abundantly. King of Cups energy, yeah. So Scorpios, I'm seeing Geminis, 7 of Swords here, seeing a little bit of Taurus energy, a lot of Virgo energy. Page of Wands reverse. You need to just remember to pick up where you left off. So if you forget something, you know, in your manifestations, you cannot slack on your manifestations, because the minute that you put them down, all your hard work goes out the window, and it's like stopping in the middle of a race. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? King of Wands energy. Remember that you're in control of your own destiny. No one else is in control over you but you. The moment that you recognize your own inner power and, like, you know, heal childhood issues and can step into your own personal power, you know, Page of Cups, you're not dependent on other people, emotionally stable, all that good stuff. You'll see it all, everything that you want and more come your way. But don't forget that this needs to be from a place of love and light, and not from a place of I want this, you know, not from this material way, because Spirit doesn't work that way. Spirit's not going to give you this and this and this just because you want it. All right, why do you want it, and what do you need it for? Why aren't you happy with what I already gave you? You know what I'm saying? So when Spirit works with people, that Spirit, with me at least, works in a very funny way. I can ask for something and get, you know, almost something, but that's because there's something that's better waiting for you. So the minute you recognize your own abundance within and your own divinity, you can step into this personal power, King of Swords, and conquer anything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading for today, / this short little whatever the fuck I just talked about. See you guys in like probably another week or so. Peace.